just all right, I'm going to introduce myself real quick. My name is Sherry Height, and I will be your instructor for 6347. I got my master's from University of Central Arkansas, oh gosh, back in 2020. So last semester was my first semester back as a adjunct. I am a dyslexia teacher here in Amarillo, Texas. So that's why I do teach online. I service, oh gosh, almost 40 dyslexic students every single day. I love what I do. So I do practice what I teach every single day. Both of my boys are dyslexic. So that is why I chose to go and get my master's in reading. Before I moved to Texas, I was a reading interventionist and worked with not just dyslexic students, but I've worked with students that are on the autism spectrum. I've worked with students that have ADHD. I've worked with students in low socioeconomic backgrounds. I currently work in 2 Title I schools, so they are from lower socioeconomic backgrounds. But I have, oh gosh, done it all. I've worked with twice exceptional students, gifted students. I've kind of run the gamut. But I truly have a passion for what I do. I feel like I have a ton of knowledge. I'm thrilled to give back to you and share whatever knowledge I have. I'm here to answer any questions you have, and I will help guide you as much as I can along the way. So please reach out if you don't get a hold of me, if I don't answer right away. I promise, get back to you, but I do work 8 to 4 every single day. That's why my office hours are after 4:30 or on the weekends. So I am full-time, and this is what I do after that. And I do have a high schooler, so I'm busy, but I'm here to help you too. So I'm thrilled to do this class today. Again, this is my second semester doing it, and I am thrilled to be able to do it with you. So please use me as much as you can for any knowledge that you want. And this is a great class. It goes through, we'll go through the outline of it in a minute, but we'll touch on oral language, phonemic awareness, handwriting. There's a ton of information in here. If you want more than is in here, I'm happy to give you resources. There are some resources in here, but I have more if you want it. Not everybody wants a whole lot. So if you want more than we have, please ask. So at the top, I have the Zoom Saturday hours. I've only got an hour on here. If you'll feel that's not enough, let me know and I can add to that. But I decided to do an hour every Saturday morning. If you show up, great. And if you don't need it, you don't have to come. But I wanted to leave that open, and I'll be here for an hour every Saturday morning if you need me. If you don't have to come, but I'll be on for an hour. So if you have any questions, if you need help with anything, if you like whatever you need, I'm here for an hour every Saturday morning. So, but I'm also available via text or email. So please reach out if you have any questions. So you are in 6347 language and literacy, and this gives your catalog description of the class that you signed up for. The KPS statement of the International Dyslexia Association. I'm not going to read it verbatim for you. I'm going to let you read a lot of this by yourself. I'm going to give you a lot of the highlights that you really need and kind of go through our major assignments with you. And again, if you have any questions about any of the other stuff, just please reach out. And I'm sorry that we did not get to you any earlier than we did, that we only were using that one textbook, the Bursch. I did not find out until kind of late that the bookstore had the other book listed. So I'm sorry about that. But we are only using the Bursch book the multisensory book. And the good thing is you use that for a lot of classes. So that book, and this is mine, I will show you, it's still very well loved and used. I use it a lot, and I've even taken it up to school, and I'm like, hold on, let's look through this. I've used it to even reference with some other teachers. So it's a very well loved book. So technology is listed in here for you, like what is expected of you. I'm really not going to read it all verbatim. What I really wanted to highlight down here for you was the course objectives. I do list those in each module. So what was highlighted, what your objective is for each module. I do pull those out and highlight them for you. So all of those are listed as to what you'll learn throughout the course, but I will highlight them through each module. And then our outline. So we'll go through the program requirements and the accreditation and resources and ethics right at the beginning. And then we kind of jump into executive function, language acquisition, the factors involved in reading and writing, which is all of that attention, verbal memory, processing speed, and executive function. And then language articulation, phonological awareness, that social emotional piece, and some of the cultural pieces that go along with that. We do talk about dyslexia and the definition of it, and the structure of language and all of the pieces of that, phonological awareness, phonemic awareness, letter identification, and handwriting. So that is kind of all of it in a nutshell. And that is what you learn throughout the course of our class. Does anyone have a question about any of that? It's kind of straightforward at the moment. And I know we haven't even jumped in yet. I do have a list of some big assignments here for you. I don't want you to get too overwhelmed by any of them, because I do have an assignment guide for you. And I tried to make it as easy as possible to follow as we go through the semester, and if even given you due dates so you can help try to pace yourself for some of these. There is a sound test, but I don't want you to get too overwhelmed by any of that, because we're going to follow the Vowel Valley, so you'll have all the letters in front of you. I don't know if any of you use the Vowel Valley or the consonant chart in your classroom, but we'll go through all of that. You will administer the PASS, which is very similar to the PAST. If any of you are familiar with that, is anyone familiar with the PASS? Yeah. So you'll administer that to a student, you'll turn it in, and then you'll create a lesson plan based on the results of that. So that's kind of straightforward, and I give you all of the instructions for that. You will also administer a handwriting assessment through Learning Without Tears, and then create a lesson plan based on that. So those are some of the big things. The biggest assignment you have this semester is an annotated bibliography, and that will actually be your final. So I'll go through all of that in just a minute for you, and we'll talk a lot about that. And that's worth 100 points, but that will be your final grade. I'm not going to have a big quiz at the end of your semester. That's going to be your final. So we can talk about that in greater detail before we get off tonight, or we can set up a separate Zoom if you'll want to talk about that later, how to do that. But and then our grade scale, it's on a 7-point scale, because 94 to 100 is an A, not 90 to 100. But all of your assignments will be cumulatively put together and then averaged out for the percentile. So now, is this anyone's first class at UCA? Okay. Yeah, that was new to me too. The very first time I did, I was like, oh, 94 to 100. Okay. The first time I went in, I was like, well, that's actually good to know. But yeah, it's different than 90 to 100. So it's not a 10-point scale. So any of your major assignments, when you turn them in, If you can make them 12-point font instead of anything smaller and at 1.5 spaces. It just makes it easier for me to read. So, and then if I have you take notes on anything, annotate them, and so you can study your material. So just makes it easier to go back and read. And if you don't know how to annotate, there's a great website to teach you how to annotate instead of just highlighting. It's just making notes in your margins. So the only place we turn in assignments is through Blackboard, so I can grade them. And I'm going to make a caveat here because I do have a couple of things that I want you to do through Flipgrid this semester. And if I do that, I will go into Flipgrid and provide you feedback and then manually grade, put in the grade in Blackboard. Does that make sense? So if I do that, I'll create the link and manually grade you. So if I give you a Flipgrid link, I'll actually go in and grade. So I'm trying to give you a little bit, some other things to do besides just giving me a discussion question. So if you disagree with a grade that I've given you, you do have time to come back and ask me about it or tell me why you disagree. You have, what is it, 2 days or 2 weeks? What did they say? 2 days from when the grade is posted and then 2 weeks to ask for reconsideration. So you have time to come back and ask for your grade to be reconsidered. And I believe even after the final grade is posted, you have time to come back, like even at the end of the semester, you have time to come back and ask about your final grade. So just keep that in mind. Just keep up with your grades throughout the semester. So all assignments are due by Sunday at 11:59. And that's why I did your assignment sheet for you. And I'll open that up in a minute, just because I think it's easier to pace yourself when you know when things are due. And sometimes it gets hard in Blackboard, I think, to keep up with that. So I tried to make it a little bit easier. If you think you need extra time, oops, where did that go? If you need extra time or any accommodation with anything, reach out to the Office of Accessibility. Here's the phone number, and they can help you set up for any accommodations. So there's that. Scroll. Trying to get down to our assignments. Okay, here are our big assignments where all of our rubrics and everything are. This is what I wanted to show you. And most of this is already in Blackboard. It just may not be open for you yet. The first one is your pass. And this is all in your syllabus, which you should all have access to right now in Blackboard. But Appendix A is your pass. And if you scroll through, this is all of your instructions, and then your rubric. So it's worth 25 points. So it tells you how to go through it and grade it. Oops. So you meet with your student, you apply, whoops. You administer the rhyme, the blending, the segmenting, the deletion, and the phoneme discrimination. And then based on administering it and analyzing the results. And if you need help with any of this, we're just barely touching on this. This is your rubric because it's worth 25 points. So everything's graded on a rubric, even your discussion questions. So there's no question on how it's graded. It makes it so much easier. And then your lesson plan, there's the template for your lesson plan. So you have a reflection and everything. And then your rubric down here. Okay. And another big assignment for you is a brochure. And I'll go through a little bit more about that after I open the assignment guide for you, because it'll make more sense in just a minute. But then here's your rubric. Okay. And your discussion boards and our rubric. So I tried to kind of list everything in here for you. Do you want me to go through the annotated bibliography a little bit? Now your final, because this is your biggest assignment. Okay. So your annotated bibliography, which is worth 100 points, is where you find 4 articles, which are peer-reviewed articles, and they can be about oral language, phonemic awareness, dyslexia, executive function, handwriting, any of the topics that we discuss in class. And you can start finding these articles now if you would like to, because I think sometimes it takes a little bit to read through them and kind of take notes on your articles, and really analyze them. And you've got some questions to think about as you read your articles. They're listed down here for you. I try to help guide you as you read your articles. So you can start trying to find them through the library. And if you want me to open up the library to show you where to go to find those, I can. But you find 4 articles. You can do 4 different ones. You can pick 1 topic, 2 topics. It says 2 topics, and critique them and have a reflection on your article. Okay. You provide a summary, a critique, and a reflection. So if you haven't done this, it may be very new for you. And I do have an example that I'll post. I don't have it open yet. I haven't posted this one yet, the sample of it. But I can post a sample of an annotated bibliography where someone's gone in and written a summary and critiqued the article and answered some of these questions as they've written up through. Okay. I'll do that because it's very new if you've never done it. But you basically read through your article, and you as you go through, you can kind of guide your reading with, what was the purpose of the article? Was their argument supported? And kind of go through some of these questions, which is good to help guide your writing later on as you write your paper. Okay. And then if you follow the rubric, right, because what you really want is this above average. So did you include the title, right? The summary, is your summary explicit? So what you really want to do is make sure that you've written an explicit summary of your article. Your critique includes 3 items that are referenced from your article. And your reflection includes 3 or more items that are explained well. Now, if you look, I took out the APA. So your title for sure has to be an APA format. I didn't say this whole thing had to be an APA format. If you reference a direct quote from an article, it has to be an APA format, right? There is this amazing website called Purdue OWL that you can type into your title article. And you can even look up annotated bibliographies and things on here, but it'll even format for you, like, how do I annotate within a paper? How do I annotate within whatever? And it'll tell you how to do that. So this website was very, very helpful because when I came back to school, I hadn't been back in school in 20 something years. So it was, it was very helpful for me. Because I hadn't used APA in a very long time. So it was very, very good. So I really recommend that. But the rubric is very, very good because it'll guide you as to how explicit to write your annotated bibliography. But again, I will give you an example of one so you can see how to write one. But if you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask, because this is a big, big grade. Okay.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
So it says for the attached article,
Mhm.
how do you want them to be attached? What does that mean?
So when you turn in your paper, what a lot of people do, they either attach the article over to the side. So they'll attach their paper in Blackboard, and then they'll also attach, like they'll attach their paper and then they'll attach the article also, or they'll write their paper and then just like their paper is included like this, and then their article's right under it. So you can do it either way. But if you do just a link, you don't get as many points, right? And if your link doesn't work, you don't get any points at all. That's a hard one. Like that, that's a hard one to grade. You're like, oh, but the link is there. That one's super hard. But yeah, so it's better to attach your article either over to the side on Blackboard. So, you know, it's like it's a Word document that just opens up like your paper does. Or a link. A link is completely fine. You just don't get as many points for it.
So when you say, sorry, when you say Word document, do you mean like if it's
Or
like two
even a PDF is fine. A PDF
So
is
if
fine
there's
too.
separate PDFs, it's fine as long as they're uploaded to the same assignment.
Yes, it is
Okay,
completely fine.
thank you.
Sure. Any other questions about that?
Yeah, the article should be within how many years? Like 5 years, 3 years?
Nothing over 10 for sure.
Nothing over.
Yeah, 10 years is definitely considered outdated. And not that that research is not valid by any means, because there's a lot of research within the science of reading that is still very valid, but it's definitely older, right?
2012.
Right. 2012 would be pushing it because we're now in 2013.
Oh yeah, 2023. So 30.
Right.
That's right. 2013.
2023. Oh yeah, 2023, not 2013. It's been a long week. We just went back to school on Monday after the holiday. Can you believe that? I know. We had 3 weeks off. Any other questions about the annotated bibliography?
Did you say you were going to show us where to find the articles?
Oh, yes, I can. Hold on just a minute. Let me move my thing out of the way up here. Let me go. I have so many things open. So if you go into hold on a second. The library. Oh, please. Y'all's looks a little different than mine. So if you go, hold on. It never looks the same to me. I'm not used to the like staff one yet. Oh, here it is. Okay. So if you go into hold, please. Sorry. Like I shouldn't have to do this. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. I shouldn't have to do this because I'm on the UCA thing. Hold on. Hold, please. It's telling me my Time is almost up, but I'm on UCA's account. So hold on. Okay. Okay. All right. So once you go in, you go into the library website and you can search any of the databases. And the one I like a lot is Academic Search Complete or ProQuest. And you just type in like whatever you want. So if you wanted, oops, just Lexia and like executive function. And then it'll give you all of these articles, right? So whatever you want to find, you just kind of come up with whatever you want to type in. Like Annals of Dyslexia is really good for stuff, and those are all peer reviewed. And that's where you find them. Most of them are already available. If they're not, interlibrary loan is really quick, usually within 24 hours. So that's super fast. So let me show you this too. This is your spring schedule of assignments for each week. This week is, well, the end of this week is week 0, and then next week starts week module 1. And this week, I'd like y'all to go into Flipgrid and introduce yourself to each other. And there's a link for Flipgrid. That way we can kind of all get to know each other a little bit better. Just because the brochure, I would like us to do that with a partner, just because that's kind of a big assignment. And I think it'd be easier with a partner. But go in and just introduce yourself and answer the 2 questions on Flipgrid. And that's not even due until the 22nd.
Can I ask a question?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, Nadine.
Very good. For the Flipgrid, when you go to log in, like, do we just log in with our own account, or like, how does that work?
The link that I gave you should log you in.
Okay, so
I believe it should. If not, let me know. But this is the account that I've set up.
And in the past, they've had us use our UCA email. Is that the email you want us to use?
Yes, please.
Okay.
okay. Thank you.
Sure. And then for module 1, our assignment for module 1, which again is not due till January 22nd. We are listening to episode 1 of Sold a Story. Okay. And then I just have some information down here for you. I have some other reference material, some other Emily Hanford articles. If you want to look at them, you don't have to. And then the International Dyslexia Association website with the knowledge and practice standard for teachers, reading teachers, and the CIRI certification link. You can get CIRI certified once you're finished with your master's. So there's the link on how to get certified. And that is also on Flipgrid. But if you scroll through your assignment guide, I do have the due dates for everything all the way over to the right. I thought it would be easier for you to pace yourself through the class, kind of knowing when things were coming. So if you knew like this was coming up, and I have like the pass coming like later on in this week, you could download the pass and get it done before it was due. Because you do have to perform that on a student, and the handwriting assessment. And those, I believe I already have open on Blackboard. If I don't, I will go in and make sure they are open this next week. So,
For the assignments that we are working with a student, if we're not teaching full-time, is there a certain like type of student that we're supposed to work with, or as long as they're within that age range for whatever we're doing, will that work?
as long as they're within that age range, you're fine. The handwriting assessment goes K through 5th. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And here is a little bit more information on your brochure, a little bit more description, because that I believe is not open yet on Blackboard. It's a created 2-page brochure for parents on language acquisition. And I have not, I don't believe I've opened that up yet, because we are, well, that's week 4. So we're a couple weeks away. I can go ahead and open that up if y'all would like me to, so you can get a little bit of a head start on that. Do y'all want me to open that week up? Okay. I thought y'all might want me to. I can go ahead and open that one up for you. That brochure is not due until February 19th. So I am giving y'all a little bit more time with that one, but I can go ahead and open it up for you. So that'll give y'all quite a bit more time. Okay. But that's why I'm having you introduce yourself on Flipgrid. So y'all can get to know each other a little bit before you have to do a partner assignment. Okay. So, but I'll go ahead and open that one up for you too. So y'all can read through everything. Okay. So I'll make sure that module 1 and module 4 are open. Let me make myself a note. Okay. Are there any other questions? I didn't want to take up too much time today. I wanted to kind of briefly go through everything and see if there were any big questions. I know it's kind of a lot, but I wanted to highlight some of the big things today and introduce myself and not overwhelm you too much.
I just had a quick question.
Okay.
The syllabus quiz,
Mm-hmm.
is that going to be posted in Blackboard, or will you provide a link through the syllabus here?
It will be posted in Blackboard, and it will open up this Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's not due until the 22nd either.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
I got another question.
Okay.
For the articles that are listed in all the readings, are those going to have links to them, or is that something we're going to have to go to the library?
Oh, no, there'll be links in the Blackboard modules for all of those.
Okay, super. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, everything that's listed in that assignment guide will be in Blackboard for you. Okay. Yeah, that'll all be provided for you.